There are lots of bad movies that come out every year. Many of them are annoying, most of them are simply forgettable, but then there are the films that go beyond being just bad. They transcend being merely awful and become something much greater. We like to think of them as the best worst movies. Here are some of our favorites.
Tell me.
Troll 2 is the sequel to 1986's Troll, and yet it doesn't have any trolls in it.
What?
Actually, it's about vegetarian goblins who transform people into trees before they eat them. A little kid catches wind of their scheme thanks to the ghost of his grandfather and has to pull out every trick in the book to keep his dunder-headed family safe. Everything about Troll 2 is ridiculous, and it's inspired many internet memes, as well as an acclaimed making-of documentary called Best Worst Movie. Tommy Wiseau's desperately self-serving drama The Room, about a perfect guy who gets betrayed by his wife, best friend, and basically the entire universe, is hilariously incompetent in almost every way, from the stilted dialogue to the bizarre line delivery to the non-sequitur plotting to the overblown finale, but although it's laughably absurd, it also feels genuine.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
In the late 1930s, a church group produced a film that was supposed to scare people away from marijuana. Ironically enough, they instead wound up making a film that could only be appreciated while high. Reefer Madness is the tale of two lovers who partake of the weed and completely lose their minds, suddenly embracing every vice imaginable. It would be scary if it wasn't just absolutely hokey malarkey.
Shut up, shut up!
Plan 9 from Outer Space was the undisputed best-worst movie for decades. Directed by the legendarily inept Edward D. Wood Jr., it's ostensibly about an alien plot to eliminate the human race by raising an army of zombies.
They are the dead, brought to assimilated life by our electrode guns.
But although they are all-powerful, the aliens seem to give up after making just 3 of them. In the shockingly cheap Plan 9, everything looks fake and the dialogue is so unbelievably false it is practically poetic.
You know, I'll bet my badge right now. We haven't seen the last of those weirdies.
In Miami Connection, the only thing that can stop total ninja domination of the cocaine trade is Dragon Sound, a good-natured gang of Taekwondo orphans who, naturally, are also a rock band with songs that everybody can relate to, like Against the Ninja.
It's just one thing you gotta know. They're all black belts in Taekwondo and they're pretty bad.
This film was made in 1987 and languished in total obscurity until it was rediscovered by the Alamo Drafthouse, and it finally found an ironic but appreciative audience.
Oh my god!
Neil Breen writes, directs, co-stars, and infuses strange paranoid power fantasies into Fateful Findings, the incredibly cheap story of a guy who finds a magic rock, gets superpowers, and eventually becomes a hacker who taps into super-secret government secrets.
I've hacked into the most secret government and corporate secrets.
That are, secret.
He's writing about government secrets.
There's more to it, like ghosts, a magic book, and an assassination plot, but trying to figure out what the heck is going on here is a huge part of the appeal. It took 21 years to make the action thriller Dangerous Men, and it shows. The film was repeatedly altered throughout production and now plays like half a dozen different films that get bored and trade off with each other. There's a long storyline about a woman whose fiancé is murdered, so she exacts her revenge and becomes a serial killer. But the movie forgets about her after a while and moves on to an undercover sting operation instead. Meanwhile, a naked guy gets lost in the desert, nothing makes sense, everything is maddening, and it is still completely captivating anyhow.
I'll see you soon.
Okay. See you then, my favorite brother.
Did you ever see Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds? Director James Wen sure did. His ultra-low-budget horror thriller Birdemic, Shock and Terror is basically that film, but with acid and global warming. And not even remotely as good. It's the story of a young couple besieged by explosive birds because global warming is bad? Birdemic somehow manages to both be unwatchable and totally hypnotic.
Now go away.
So those are some of the best worst movies ever made, but there are lots more where those came from, so let us know your favorites in the comments. For even more bad movies, be sure to check out the 29 worst reviewed movies of 2017, or if you want to hear about something good instead, there's also the best reviewed movies of 2017 as well. Plus, don't forget to like and subscribe on your IGN platform of choice, and for everything else movies, keep it right here on IGN.